think that voice fake. The voice he does, the eater doing is fake.
In the sense that he doesn't really...
No, he don't talk like this.
Recording.
No, he's a character.
Recording.
Oh. Okay. So you knew you did know that I was going to lecture you a little bit, and I'll try to keep my lecture very short. Okay? Bottom line is I keep repeating to you that you are going to be dealing with your issues next spring. No, not spring. What is September? How many months away is September?
5.
How many of you have planned on entering Stanjack or a university in 4 months? Okay. So my mini lecture is, as you will have predicted, how are you going to pass classes when you can't meet deadlines? Don't really answer that. I don't really want to answer. You're not going to. You're not going to pass the classes. Okay? And everybody's going to remember little Miss Fain's on your shoulder haunting you next fall. And what the sound that you're going to remember that I said is going to happen every time you can't get your work done on time. It's like flushing money down the toilet. They come over. That's it? That's what you're doing. There goes $1,000. Okay? So I keep imploring you, please don't sign up for any classes that involve English composition or American history or psychology or any of those meaty classes that are your core basic classes. If you cannot do anything on your own with a timeline, because there is no extended deadlines, because we've got a population that struggles academically in our district, so we make modifications. That doesn't happen in college, okay? Because that population, and I'm not saying it's you, and I'm not saying it's you, and I'm not saying it's you, but that population becomes our hourly wage workers in society. Something else to do that doesn't involve school, because there's good paying jobs out there, and get hungry for education before you'll pay for it. Okay? Don't go sign up for the classes and throw your money away. This is not a hard thing to get done over the break. And if you went over to the break and did absolutely nothing, you're not probably going to change a whole lot before September. Maybe. You'll give it a good whirl, and then maybe you won't like your first grade because you worked hard and then you made a D and you're like, oh my gosh. Which is kind of what happened to me at A&M on my first paper. I was all that in a bag of chips and got a D on my first English paper. But you can't quit. You got to go in there and talk to the professor, which is what I did. And he said my ideas were good, but they were not cohesively put together. My paragraphing structure was weak. I mean, he just gave it to me nicely. He goes, you're going to pass an English composition class at Texas A&M. They're going to have to upscale it. So the next paper was better. I think it was a C. And then I finally got an A. And I think I ended up with a B for class. But, I made a D on my first statement. But I certainly didn't turn it in late. There is no late grade. Not even at Stanjack. Now, I know some people make fun of Stanjack, but it's a great place to get your basics done. Okay, and they're not going to modify your grade. They'll pass you along so that you don't ruin your graduation numbers. But they are going to help you, just like I tried to. So I'm not sure what happened, and I think there's varying degrees of what didn't get done. How many of you did something on this over the break? That makes me feel a little better. You did something. Okay, I feel better now. Put your hands down. And I didn't even really look at those of you who did. But that makes me feel better. But, again, the deadline thing is an issue. What chapters are we on? Let's take a poll. How many of you have actually read the book and grabbed your interest enough? Because some of those chapters are easier to read than others. The plot's just a little more interesting. Read those. Start the next one. Go, maybe spark note the next one. Do some combination at least. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave you alone. And I wish today could be more exciting. But basically, you're not allowed to work together. You can only use your novels. And you can't use the computer. And you have to finish your second packet. If you'd like some help and some free answers, all you got to do is know the answers in that touring, and you will get that. Okay, and that rewards ambitiousness. When you get finished, there's the visual response project will be due on for you guys Tuesday of next week. So as I kind of give coordinate some information, I want you to lend your ear. It won't take long because there's going to be a whole criteria thing going on. But basically, here's the nuts and bolts of it. You're dealing with the concept of romanticism and or Gothicism. Okay? And what you have to do is research what those concepts are. There's a little bit in your first packet about what those concepts are. Okay? And you have to take those definitions and then create some visual. And the visual cannot be, it has to be something that's done by hand. And I encourage you to use different materials. You know, that was a styrofoam thing. That's clay. You know, up on the wall, there's torn paper used, tissue paper. Some of them are drawing. Some of them use chalk and shading. But you're encouraged to use elements, different elements, not just drawing. It's okay if you do, as long as it's really grabbing the concept. Like, y'all notice that one that's I think it's supposed to be Frankenstein. It's got blood at its feet, and there's the wings. What reference is that in the novel? What major work addressed the fall of Adam and Eve out of the garden?
Oh, this is in the packet.
And referred to the fallen angel, comparing the demon to the fallen angel, or basically the devil. Paradise Lost.
Yeah, there you go.
So that is addressing the Paradise Lost reference to the fallen angel and the Adam out of the garden thing. And the big thing about this project is you have to get up and explain its romantic and gothic elements. You have to say why you created what you created based on those definitions. And I'm also looking for at least 3 key quotes from the novel that support what you drew. So like he might bring that quote out about Paradise Lost in the book. Okay. So that's all coming up, and you have all week if you're up on things to get that done in class. So what I had Katie do, because she was also done, is I had her get on and take notes on Gothicism and Romanticism. Also look at your first packet because it has some stuff in it.
All right.
Okay. So that's it. That's what we're doing today. Don't forget you need to highlight your second packet for significant, pieces of information that help you understand the basic plot of the entire novel. Not like that open book one that I've given you, which we'll go over those answers on Wednesday to help you for your test on Friday. But it'll be more of an ABC this time, I promise. And it'll also have the vocabulary from both of these packets in it. That's Friday. So that's the week in a nutshell. And I'll be quiet so you can get some work done. We'll take a break in maybe 40 minutes, and I'll try to help you with some that you're struggling with. I have some highlights. So